Hello, welcome back to City Planner Plays, where we are trying to build the perfect one-tile city in City Skylines. That is right, we're going to finally take on the challenge and try to build as large of a city as we can in one tile. But because I'm me, I want this to look good and I want it to function well. So we're going to be judging this based on not just the population, but the traffic flow. We're going to try to keep this above 80% and make it look nice as well. So down in the comments, let me know what you think the population will be at the end. We're going to be building on the Land of the Isles map from the Map Pack 2. So if you want to build along and try to beat me, go for it. And we'll be using these mods. It's a pretty basic list, but I figure it would make my build a lot more comfortable. So without any further ado, let's jump right in. Before we just jump into it, I thought it might be helpful to take a look at the map and come up with a preliminary plan. So we can see that there's a lot of water on this map. About a third of the map is water, and then another significant chunk is either terrain or transportation network. So we're going to need to take advantage of the terrain, maybe as parks, and we're going to need to completely rebuild this interchange. It's way too big. That's valuable land for other uses. I also want to plan around this rail line. We're going to try to get our cargo and our inner city people into our community using rail. So the very first thing that we're going to do is draw a little chunk of road so we unlock a bunch of stuff. There we go. And we've even unlocked our planning roads. That's something I really wanted in this build. So I'm going to plan out a real quick roadway layout. It'll change with time, but this will be our preliminary plat for our community. Ta-da! Just a real basic roadway layout. And here's the main thing I'm thinking right now. We'll have most of our commercial and office uses right here along this collector. We'll focus our city service buildings right here in the center along with some unique buildings. This dirt road is going to be our rail line, so we'll need to figure that out at some point. And we'll have some, potentially on either side, the ability to get passengers on one side and maybe one of those new warehouses that is attached to a rail line on the other. We'll have some industrial back here, although that will go away eventually. And then right here is our new ramp onto our highway that we will eventually get to. This is all kind of a mess right now, but we are in a spot where I think we can finally begin. Let's add some utilities, and we'll start right away with maybe this new advanced coal power plant. It is half of our money. And then we're gonna need to upgrade roads as we go. It's gonna be kind of a meandering path. And I'm feeling very uncomfortable now because we've used all of our money basically. But I think we could figure this out. Let's add some of our utilities. I wanted to upgrade this. I was thinking about drawing water directly from here. I think we'll try to, but because I don't want to pollute the coast, let's add in one of our inland water treatment plants. Again, that's a ton of money we don't have. And then we will pump some water. Let's add a pump right here on our beach. And we'll make a completely unnecessary connection right there. But it makes me happy. Now let's add some water pipes. We're gonna put those underneath the road right where they belong. All right, I'd say that we're off to a start. The issue that we have right now is we have $5,000 left. Let's get our first zone districts in place and hopefully start making some money. Whew, now we are losing money rapidly. We just need to get some of these areas to fill in so that we can actually move. I'm going to add a bit of commercial along here to hopefully keep things chugging. Oh, this is super stressful. Negative $7,000. We don't even have enough money for water pipes. This is bad. This is not good. Oh, little hamlet, we've got a little bit of money now, but we also have a lot more requirements, including we need to take care of our trash, our elementary schools. Yeah, that's going to be some things that we need to take care of. We're still losing money. There is a way to fix that, but I'm reluctant to do so. We could drop the budget on our power plant. Thing is, I always forget that I've done that, so I'm going to try not to. We don't even have enough for a landfill. Jeez. And we're finally making some money. So now we're seeing things move in a positive direction for the first time. I'm going to upgrade this. This was always intended to be a couplet. I should not have upgraded that. It was all of my money. And the main reason that I wanted to upgrade these was just so that we don't have zoning occurring along here. All of that said, is it worth the money? I don't know. Probably not, but we're going to go for it for a little bit of this anyway. And garbage is piling up. Oh no, I don't have any money. I wonder if I could take out a loan yet. I can. This is a bad idea, but we're going to do it anyway because we have to. Upworthy Village. Worthy village. We are now a worthy village. We don't have our school yet. We need that, but now we also need all other emergency services, police, fire. Yeah, that's going to be more expense. So we get the high capacity elementary school. That's what we're going to work up towards. This is a small enough area. I'd really love to put 2 of these in and have nothing else. Let's worry about making some money. And again, responding to some of our zoning needs. We're not going to get anything more until we get some elementary schools. We're going to want maximum coverage here. So I'll place that right in the middle. And then for police and fire, I'm going to place those kind of in this general area near this anyway. I don't want to put it directly on this collector. And we don't have enough money for a fire station. Hopefully we're okay for a little while. Let's take a look. Can we adjust our tax rates? We can. Let's crank this to 12 because that's what you do. And again, this budget, I could definitely take our power budget down, I believe anyway. Yeah, we're producing double what we need, but we're going to grow this thing fast enough. I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to worry about all the stuff that's already burning down. And we've resolved that. We got a fire station right here. And everyone wants a place to shop. And I think this is going to be silly, but we're going to eliminate some of our population to do it. And we're a tiny town as I demolish population. We've also got a need for a high school now and our dog park. Thankfully, we get our dog park. There we go. There we go. There we go. Commercial's still our biggest need, so I think we will develop along here. Now, I've got some interesting ideas for right here. It looks like this is a couplet, but I think I'm going to do something bizarre. This is going to be a pedestrian area along one side, and then we'll go with just the normal road on the other. And I think to get our first pedestrian area, we need to actually paint one, and then we have to place a service point. And now let's upgrade this to one of our pedestrian roads. Yeah, I like that. That's super weird, but I think it's really neat. So we'll go with that. And we'll add some industrial back here because that is our other big need. And I'm going to connect that through just for redundancy's sake. I didn't mention this, but I decided to leave natural disasters on. I don't know if anything's going to happen, but you never know. So because of that, we'll just plan ahead. All right, and we got to Boomtown. We can have an airport area. We finally unlocked our highways so we can get to building our new interchange. We have cemeteries now, so we have to worry about death care, elder care, and child care. We definitely need to worry about those. And we have trams, and I do want to start thinking about our transit. So that is very, very good. So before we forget, let's add our death care. And I think we'll add that right about, maybe right here. Everyone loves that. And then for our elder care, I just want this to cover everything. And I also want it to be efficient. So we'll put that right next to our cemetery. There we go. And now we should start building our highway ramp. So this is going to be a little bit of a trick because I think we're going to need to relocate the highway a bit to make this work. Now I'll make the perfect connection with our curved road tool, part of network multi-tool. Then I will use the create parallel mode, shift this over, looks like it's maybe 28 meters. Perfect connection. I'm going to parallel one here. This will be the ramp onto the highway. And we'll do the exact same thing on the other side, but this one's going to be tighter and more challenging. And the main reason for that is we're at the edge of the map. Now we just need to reach the other side. And then I will use my create curve mode. I'm going to choose this bridge here and this one here, and that should give me the appropriate connection. And we're running out of water. Oh no. Yeah. Oh, whoa. Oh, it's our power. I don't want this to ever happen again. So I'm going to add this temporarily until we can have a better power plant. That should get us power to this, which will give us water again. Yeah, we're clearly at the edge. That's our big problem. And I can't afford one of these. It's just that I really don't want to. We'll go for it. We'll concentrate those uses right there. And then we have one more connection to make, and that is going to be a more challenging one. We basically need to mirror over here and come up and over. So we're going to give ourselves lots of space to make this happen. So that's why the ramp on this one is so long. And that is network multi-tool for the win. What a great mod. Just absolutely phenomenal. And we've earned enough money now that I think we can upgrade the highway and not feel too bad about it. And while we were upgrading, we hit busy town, 4,000 people. We get some city planning policies, tourism, a bunch of new roads, and then some new power plants. Thank goodness, because we need to get rid of ours and we get some more transit options. So we've got to start thinking about that soon, but we can't do any of that until we're done with this. There we go. Our new interchange is complete. And you know what? I think I might be more proud of this interchange than I should be. I think it looks really good. So I am going to go with it. And then we'll get rid of all of this stuff over here. The other reason why we need to get rid of this is we don't really have any local connectivity through these two sides. And that's going to become a huge problem down the line. And to make these connections, I'm going to use my create connection mode. There we go. That's looking really, really good. I am going to try to get rid of this too. We'll use move it. Little bit of a cheat, but you know what? We gotta take one, right? Just one. Now, I was thinking about getting rid of this, but maybe we should turn that into some sort of park. So to commemorate everything that we got rid of here. And actually, we've already demolished part of it, so we'll save the rest of it. There we go. The circle park. And honestly, this could be really helpful for us because maybe this is where we funnel all of that traffic through that I was worried about. And the main concern here is, yeah, we want to make this connection. So yeah, this couldn't have worked out better for us. So I don't know if park is necessarily the best way of describing this, but what we're going to do is reorient this road a little bit. And I'll make this connection here instead of the one that I was making. And now there's a connection to our collector right here, and then this will become kind of a minor collector back here. This I haven't zoned in here because we're gonna make this a city park at some point. There's actually one thing I didn't do that I'm really regretting right now, and that is I promised you guys that I would never use this vanilla zoning again. Here I am, just using it. And while we're waiting for all of this to come back, we'll make sure that we have fire coverage back here as well, because that is really important for industrial areas. And we'll add in a couple of recycling centers. We're still way behind in our garbage processing. Really, we need an incinerator, but that's 6,000 in population. So I guess we have a bunch of landfills. Let's start to think about our public transportation, and we will add a tram. We'll need to deviate from our roadway plans a bit, which is not a problem. And then we'll run this back here. I think we'll have our loop basically go through this district. We'll come in the back end here. And then we'll come up here and add some trees for the first time all the way down here. Oh, this is so much nicer. What's not so nice is that we are demolishing half of our commercial just to add this. I think what we'll do here is start our bike network, and we'll run a bike tram track back here. Now we've added our high school here. Let's add a clinic, and we still need our child health center, and we want that because of births. And we'll put that right here. That will supercharge our births. And a couple of things I was just thinking about as I was waiting. First of all, we are going to convert this all to be just the residential. We are going to use this for our park. We don't have the space to set aside little city parks like this. And then the other thing is I connected our future rail line, that's what this dirt road is, into our roundabout. That was a mistake. So we're going to crank, and I think we're just going to upgrade all of this. Up, 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 and we better stop. There's always something. It's water, it's power, it's sewer. To me, this is probably power. And yeah, it's definitely power. Our biggest issue, our nemesis, and we have no money to resolve it. We do have one quick resolution. We could take out a loan, but I'll do the other thing. We'll just crank. And for water, our sewage, yeah, we're right on the edge there too. We're making enough money. We'll juice it for now. And that'll cut into our profit, but that's okay. That should be most of what we need to fill the rest of this in, which honestly makes me a little bit nervous about what our end population is going to be. But we haven't added any high density yet, so no reason to fret just yet. We are having lots of problems with industrial. I don't know how to resolve it because I really don't want to dedicate any more space to this. So I'm really just hoping that if I let this go for just a little while, we'll end up having things improve to the point that this doesn't matter. I want to import stuff. Actually, that is our solution. We'll just add a warehouse and then we'll store commercial goods in here. Now, this is going to be a disaster. We're going to see so much traffic come here, but it's going to be fine. I'm going to upgrade this actually in light of that, and we'll make this a 4-lane road. 6,000 population, big town, taxation policies, so we can finally maybe have that industrial space utilization, get some of our wall-to-wall buildings. And does that mean we also get high density? We do. Now it's time to speed run. We also have our incineration plant. So basically everything that we were worried about, we finally have. We've also got our natural disaster buildings. So I think that those are going to be a thing now. First things first, we are going to adjust our taxes because I will forget about these. So there we go, 12% for everybody. I do want to make sure that we're doing okay with education though, and we are drastically undershooting our elementary. Let's get rid of this one and go for a high density elementary. Everyone loves that. And I actually just gave us a high school. It's okay, we'll put them right across the street from one another. Wow, that's really looming over that road right there. That is brutal. I don't know about you guys, but there is something inherently super funny to me about having all of this high density on dirt roads. Just trying to imagine that. So we should probably start thinking about our road upgrades as well. You know, we're actually backpedaling on our population, which is really exciting. Maybe we should jazz it up with a couple of parks. And the other thing that we can do is I'm noticing that some of these block sizes are really large. So where I can divide them further to get additional zoning, I am doing that. And the one thing we don't have in this city is any university coverage. So in anticipation of our offices being able to meet some of our demand, let's add one of those as well. Editor Phil here, and your eyes did not deceive you. That is another high capacity high school. And I'm not gonna fix it. Oh boy. And now we'll start having some office. Now I desperately want some of our train infrastructure. 8,000, so we're so close. We're so close. We've got to do whatever it takes to get there. I think we need to do more than just this though. Why don't we start to vary up the look of our districts by creating districts? Because right now we don't really have any. And near the beach, we'll go wall to wall everything. And then maybe over here, we'll add in some of our shopping malls. And we'll also do office wall to wall and some self-sufficient residential. And I'm almost thinking that we need some sort of entertainment and tourism district. So why don't we actually eliminate some of this from the beach? And I know that we're trying to build our population up. That is our goal. But there's more that goes into it than just that. So I'm going to grab this. This will be our leisure specialization. And then just beneath that, I'm going to do some Green Cities commercial. So just to vary things up a little bit. I don't know if this is actually going to help, but I think it's going to make this city look a lot more interesting. We're a small city. We get our cargo train terminal. We get our train station. We also get this warehouse with railway connection. That is what we were looking for. And a bunch of metro stuff. I think we are going to do something with metro, something higher capacity, maybe along this collector. And we missed upgrading these roads. We will worry about that after we focus on some city services and our train station. I've been noticing that we're having some crime issues, and I think we're going to try to get away with what we have been doing, which is replacing all of our low density services with high density ones. So now we have no services at all. Wow, those are so expensive. 95,000. I did not realize that. That's the problem with having money in the game most of the time, is you just don't realize how expensive things are. But we'll take out a loan. I don't have access to the big dog right here. 16,000. But we will at least have excellent fire coverage. And I'll do it. I'll take out both loans so that sometime soon we'll also have excellent police coverage. Oh my goodness. Everyone is a criminal in this city. Oh, and we have a thunderstorm. So we have a disaster, no police department. Oh boy, I really shouldn't have deleted that. That was not a good call. Oh, well, do we have any power lines? I actually think I got rid of all of them. So I think, oh, no, these ones. But we added this. So we're already a step ahead. We don't need to worry about that. We'll just get rid of those. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't have water anywhere. Oh, this is on fire. Okay, we'll pause it. We'll take a break. Take a quick beat and connect that back up. Oh my goodness. As soon as it zaps it. And now we're losing money. I really wish someone would put this out. That would really help us out. Option 2. I just placed a new one next to it. And that one's gone anyway. So it was a solid call. I stand by that. The crime rate is 61%. I think we're gonna unlock the courthouse, and I don't know that I've ever naturally unlocked that. But this appears to be the way. If you want to unlock the courthouse, just let me be the mayor long enough. And now we're just burning through money. So, our entire industrial district just abandoned. All right. I really didn't want to do this. Temporarily, I'm going to put that there. We'll arrest everybody. And then after that, then maybe we'll have enough money to build the high capacity station. This isn't even where I want it, but I just kind of feel trapped at this point. Okay, this was a mostly failed experiment in getting the police station there, but we're back in business. We're gaining population again. I feel good about what we've been up to, kind of. So let's get the rest of these roads upgraded. We'll get rid of the rest of this, and hopefully I won't kill the city again. Okay, I got rid of all of the low density residential, but I'm going to take a momentary break because we've got to get this train line in here. That said, it should be easy enough to build a nice straight track right through. The real tricky part is going to be getting this connection made across our highway. So I'd love it to go in both directions. I think both are good for outside connections. I don't know how easy this is going to be though. We're going to have to elevate the highway, and let's just use the create curve mode tool. And honestly, not that bad. And I did this pretty far away, but I think it actually might be pretty good. Oh, and the city's looking beautiful. We've got errors all over the place, but I know that we can now connect this up and have some good things happen. All of that said, I'm a little concerned that our warehouses are now on the wrong side. So we're probably going to flip these over after we create one of our new warehouse railway connections. Oh no. Oh no, it has to be on this side. So maybe we will not. So right now the rail is trying to come in on this other side. I suppose I could fix that. The easiest way is going to be just to have it over here though. So maybe alternatively, we'll just make this connection here, and that should solve our issue as well. There we go. I probably chose the most complicated way to make this happen. And reasonably, this is not an excellent configuration. Now, we have our tram going through the train tracks twice. So that's going to slow down all of our transit. We've got to figure out a better connection there. And truthfully, this isn't going to be the most realistic thing in the world. I've got the solution. Now, I really want to take care of our trash collection. We've got 2 landfills here. They're almost full. And then we've got a bunch of recycling centers, but they're just not doing the trick for us. We're teetering on the edge, and we've got to do better. I think we're going to try to tuck some of these incinerators away back here, and we'll summon, not an earthquake or a sinkhole, a collapse of both of these. And now we get rid of all of our old school industrial. We're done with industrial. We can import everything. Okay, we're making some progress on eliminating all of our pollution, but we've really got to start thinking about our power if we're really going to make a change. Right now, we need 88 megawatts. That's not too bad. So our solar updraft tower will produce more than enough, and I think that it's the route that we're going to go. And I figure we'll add our new water treatment as well. Let's just get rid of all of these utility issues that we could potentially have. and just be done with it. And that is kind of where we're at right now. I'm going to add a second water pump as well, and this will allow us to turn down our budget. And now we're making some real cash. So this little district right here, we can't just eliminate it. We still need this. So what I think we're going to do is add a ton of offices back here. So this will be some kind of an office park. It's not the greatest. I mean, we're not mixing uses, obviously. That said, I don't think anyone really wants to come back here for much else than going to work. It's super polluted. It would be not super pleasant. This might be the only use that I consider to be rational back here. Now let's pop back over here and get this stuff going. And we've got a whole bunch of low density commercial type stuff happening over here. Some of this is in our specialized district, so it doesn't matter, but the rest of this is not. I know that we just want to wholesale residential this out, so I'm going to go for that. And we'll add a little bit of shopping in between so folks could walk. Although again, we're going to be adding some high capacity transit to this area soon, so maybe it's not a huge deal. This is not a big place. And I'm curious, we've got some of our commercial abandoning. Education was too low. So let's look at our education levels. And we are still short on elementary. I would not have guessed that. Not with our high capacity elementary school. That said, we can resolve that. That's not a problem. What I'm going to do is grab this elementary school, pull it over here. Then we'll grab this one and we'll pull that over here. And that should give us some fairly decent coverage. Now I just want to make sure that we are well blanketed with parks and maybe even throw in a couple of unique buildings. So we know that we've got this pedestrian district right here. Maybe we do something like this over here. We'll have a music hall. We will have the media broadcasting company. And then I know that I want to turn this into some sort of a large park. So we'll just prep this. And that will unlock all of our stuff. Truthfully, I don't know that City Park was the right one to go with here, but it's going to be fine. No, it's not. This has to be a nature reserve. And then over on the other side, I can go with one of the side gates. So the nice thing about this is it won't look terrible if I were to just go with some of the non-self-leveling paths, which I might do because the terrain here is kind of crazy. Let's just go for it and see how it looks. All right, this isn't necessarily the best park. Basically, it is a bunch of campsites right in the middle of the city where everyone is sick and dying and unhappy. So we're doing our best. And it's funny, I thought that we might be able to survive some of this if we had low density commercial, but it's just not doing it. And we don't have enough educated workers. So we just have problems all around. We need more commercial, but we also don't have enough workers for it. It's a double-edged sword. I think this is kind of one of those waiting games where we have to just let things go for a little while. And in the meantime, we're just going to add some metro stations. And I think we're going to try to keep them along the collector, maybe a block back. You know, we have this parallel station. I wonder if we could do something interesting with this. We'll add this right here. And then maybe we go one block forward and one block back. Yeah, I like the idea of that. So they'll basically be running parallel. Then they'll meet up here. And they'll separate again. And then I think I'll have them meet up again, maybe like right here, and then separate once more as we run out of money. So perfect. And let me tell you, friends, metros are very expensive. We're just constantly bankrupt. Oh my goodness, we finally finished it. Thankfully, we're making a ton of money right now. So that is really kind of saving the day for us. But boy, oh boy, it has been a struggle. Now we've got death care issues. Everything is a little bit of an issue right now. But I feel like things are about to start popping off. We should probably look at our old forms of transit. No, holy cow. We've got 500 people waiting to get on right here. Well, I think that we should maybe think about adding a larger capacity vehicle. Maybe 132 and just crank this. And we've got the exact same thing at a different stop on our other tram line. So I feel fairly confident in just upgrading this. Actually, did we have one that was 140? 140. We'll go 140. We'll go 15. We'll go 20 vehicles. We're just going to throw all the transit at it. I want everyone on transit. And on the metro, I think we're going to have a similar story. I don't even care at this point. I just want everyone on there. So we're going to throw the 500 capacity metro. I know it's not the 600, but this is pretty darn good. And I think we'll go with 3. So there we go. So much capacity, so many trains pinging back and forth. And for our traffic flow, not looking good, actually. We are currently at below 80. 80s are our benchmark. Part of this could be all the tram traffic and vehicles going around. Part of it might just be that people are moving in. Part of it might just be that we are doing a very good job with transportation right now. And we added 3 crematoriums, and I think we're going to collapse this cemetery just like we collapsed the dumps before them, because that is valuable land right there. And that was incredibly disrespectful. But sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures. Heading back to our park, we are going to make this thing at least a little bit attractive. And part of the way that we do that is having more tent camping, because apparently that's what everyone wants to do in your main city park, is go and grab a tent, pitch a tent. But beyond that, I think being able to make it up here and have an excellent view would be amazing. Oh boy, the things you can do with the network multi-tool and move it. I am going to miss these mods in City Skylines too, but boy, oh boy, what a great park. I'd love to come up here and take in that view. Good enough for me. Now, if we really want to take this park to the next level, we need to copy some trees. So we'll go into our marquee selection tool and have only trees selected. And we'll just control C these and just spam these all throughout back here. Now it feels like you got some privacy. That feels a lot better. Now it feels like I think I understand why you might come back here. Before, not so good. Not so good at all. We're having a ton of goods issues. So I think our resolution for that is going to be an IT cluster district. I hate this because they're so tall and this is just not a very big place, but they produce goods and we need goods. So we're going to go with it. We're going to have a super awkward IT cluster district right in the back over here. And we'll basically say if you're on the wrong side of the tracks, you are IT cluster district. This is a massive cul-de-sac. I think you guys know how I feel about that one. I kind of feel like I don't have any options, so we're going to roll with it. You know, it's really kind of a shame that we've got all of this low density commercial and it is causing problems. So I think in light of it causing problems, we might as well get the most bang for our buck. Although these are the shopping centers and those are causing issues. Well, either way, I think we're going to increase the density here. It doesn't seem to matter. It's problematic to everybody. I think it's a little ridiculous, but we will upgrade these. I think we're going to do one more big thing. I really want to have the utilities not impacting this office district. It looks terrible. So what I think we're going to try to do is form some other connection, maybe underneath the highway and across the railroad tracks. Okay, so I tried to make sure that the road I'm choosing has a direct access to the collector. And then we're going to make our connection right underneath the highway. I will elevate this. We're going to make this a bridge, but I don't want to increase the height of the highway. So that means that we're likely going to have to drop this down, the road that we're creating. And then I'm just going to create a real quick and dirty, super ugly road back here. And now we're going to see if we can actually fit all of our utilities back here. There's that gigantic hill, so I'm not super hopeful, but we'll give it a go. So the water is polluting. And then we have our power plant, and I would really love to sneak that in over here. I think the only way that we could do that is if we mirrored this train track. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, our site is prepped. I think all we need to do now is move this over and then maybe drop a power line. Definitely drop a power line because no one has any power now. And honestly, at this point, I think I'm going to do one more thing before I just let this run for a little while to see where we get to. I think we need to take a look at our elder care and our child care. Make sure that we are as juiced up on that as we can be. We need to make sure that we're always going to have power over here. A big part of that is going to be just trying to jump the power, and I might do that with something a bit unconventional. We'll just add this large emergency shelter. We should probably have one anyway with disasters on, but we are sick. We are very sick. Did I forget to build a hospital? Oh my goodness. I forgot to build a hospital. I was going to build a new hospital and I never did. No wonder why everyone's sick. Okay. Well, that's a good reminder though, because now I can build the new hospital and I can also build that police station that I wanted to get to. So I'm going to build a hospital right about, I'll take out a bunch of office and then we'll replace that police headquarters with another one that has more cop cars. And now that we've done that, things are going to kind of go through the roof, I imagine. So that was the missing link. And in terms of our death care, I'm guessing that's why we had so many dead people too. So that's the reason why we were seeing dead people. We'll add one more death care anyway. Everyone's happy. Everyone's loving it. And there's something Doc wouldn't forgive me of if I didn't add it in. And that is a post office. So we'll add that. And I wonder, the post sorting facility is probably not going to be a huge help to us. So maybe we'll just keep that out of the... No. We can do it. We can do it. We'll add it right here. And it's funny. This is so close to not being a cul-de-sac, but unfortunately it is. We just found a way to connect this over. It would no longer be, but we have to leave the tile. We're way too close to the railroad track to make anything happen. So it remains a cul-de-sac. This thing will burn down. So we should probably, if we're being smart, add this right here. Just dedicated to ensuring that we don't lose all of our power. So now we're going to look at all of our city services. We'll thumb through them quickly. Good on healthcare, good on death care, good on child care, good on elder care, good on fire coverage. Verde Beach good anyway. Our crime rate is acceptable. We're good on everything except, oh, I thought we added a university. We did not. So we've got our high capacity university, which will get us to Grand City, give us a whole bunch more stuff that we're not going to add in. We'll look at our transit system quickly to make sure we don't have any passing up occurring. We're looking like we've got way too many trams now, which is better than where we were at, but we will take this down and I'm going to actually cut it right in half. I think I got overexcited there and our metro's looking pretty good too. Way too much capacity there, but I'd rather have too much capacity underground than above ground because that's going to impact our traffic flow, which is currently not in a very good place. Ooh, oof. And some of that might be just that we've got a lot of people moving in. Some of that might be that we haven't done a great job with our transportation network, which I hate to admit. I've added a couple of skyscrapers from the Skyscrapers Content Creator Pack and from Modern Japan. They don't do anything in terms of our population, but they just make it look a ton nicer. Plus, I feel like it helps with some of the density that we have back here, and it raises our land values. And that is something that we kind of need right now if we're going to get this place to completely max out. And you see that where I've placed these and with this pedestrian area, we are absolutely going nuts. So that is perfect. And I really want more money. So we're going to take a loan, try to completely crank up the amount that we're making, and then hopefully place the rest of the skyscrapers. So I think that if we placed a couple of these small hotels, these are real money makers and they're not difficult to max out. And I think right along this park area is the right location. And I was right about that. We're making about 1,000 per hotel. This one's a little bit less because it's not totally maxed out. Nope, we're there. So the benefit of that is I'd really love to get to this city hotel because we'll make some serious money then. All we've got to do is line it up along this side and we should get there. And the trick is to just take every loan that's available to you, which I think probably not the healthiest way of looking at things, but some people do that. Some people do that. And I think one more and we're there. And we've unlocked our city hotel and some of our other bigger ones. That is what I was hoping for. So even our boatel, I think could be really valuable here. So for the boatel, I'm going to add that right about here once we have any amount of money. There, that should be enough to get this to not be all that great. It's fine. I like the boatel anyway. This is more about having a hotel that looks attractive in our city, adds a bit of visual interest, maybe distracts from this a bit because that's pretty terrible. Now I am going to try to get rid of these. And the way that we'll do that is just adding a couple of these large water towers. I think we can get away with one being in here. And then maybe we can add another one right over here. And I think with that, that should do the trick for us. Maybe we could even get rid of these power lines that are a disaster waiting to happen. Now we can also get rid of these. Pretty up our park and our shoreline. I love it. That's great. And that even improves actually the popularity is going up here because we now have some of our commercial wall-to-wall spawning there. And then I'm going to add a city hotel. And again, we'll do that in this exact same corridor. And this again is just perfect. Apparently this entire collector right here is just the perfect place to visit. There we go. We've got a ton of hotels now. We are making so much money, and this is going to help us fill in. So I think for just a moment, we're going to let this thing load up, see where we get to. We still have a lot of needs, but people are still moving in. So I am hoping that our residential demand is low because there's still a lot of zone space available. I'm also noticing one more thing. As soon as every time I want to just let it sit for a moment, I notice we've got a new issue: crime. Apparently there's one angry crime person over here. So we'll add one more police station, maybe a couple of small ones on the fringes. Then we add our fire departments as well. And then I really think that we should probably look at healthcare. We've still got 300 people sick. So if there's anything that we can do to fix that, we should probably do so. And now the big wait. We just need to be patient and see where our population shakes out. Whew. We have had some time pass, and you might notice that things look a little bit different. The very first thing I did as I was waiting was I planted a whole bunch of trees. So all throughout the city, anywhere there was a gap, I added some trees to make it feel a little bit more lush and a little bit more filled in. I also added trees to the sides of roads, in between roads where it was appropriate, and generally cleaned some things up. And then I started to think about the traffic flow a little bit. And I made a couple of minor adjustments here and there around the edges. Things like removing these traffic signals on every single intersection with a collector, and also just generally making sure that the bike network was complete, because we kind of had a couple of spots where it just stopped. So for instance, down this collector, now the bike network extends all the way through. But there were some big things I had to do as well. So I wanted to try to get as close to 80% as possible. And to do that, I started to realize very quickly, we really had to have a connection across the highway. This could not be a cul-de-sac. Now, the reason for that is the trash collection. And without more than just this one outlet that we had over here, we were basically seeing every single garbage truck funnel through this area, and really the city start to fall apart. So I converted this road to a highway and then made a pretty simple junction across the highway, and things seem to be functioning much better now. And look at this, what a great demonstration. The other thing that I did that is a little bit more intrusive was I went through, and basically the entire tram network was backing up. I've adjusted it, made sure that we have an appropriate number of vehicles now, and the ridership is doing really well as a result. But I've also gone through and taken the entire network and increased the capacity. What we were seeing is massive backups on the tram network. And the funny thing about it is, as soon as you convert it over, you lose the bike lanes, and it doesn't seem like it needs all the capacity. So to compensate for the loss of bike lanes, I added bike lanes down some of the roads that parallel the tram network. So we've now got this little network of a couple of bike facilities, not many, but just a couple of parallel facilities. Here's the tram network, here are the bikes. So that was to make up for the loss of the lanes there. And then this is another one of the fixes. Basically, we had two roads coming in here. There were node conflicts, so I converted this to be a 4-lane road right here, 2 lanes each direction, rather than having those roads come right into this collector right here. Even though I liked the way it looked, it wasn't functioning well. And then lastly, I've separated this. Before we had this minor collector teeing into the highway, it was creating lots and lots of backups. And as a result, I've separated this. If you want to get from the highway to this road, you've got to do a little bit of a loop-de-loo around here. But it seems to be flowing a lot better as a result. There was a lot of pedestrian traffic through here as well, so I've added this nice little bridge. Generally, I'm very pleased with the way that everything is turned out and the way it looks. So, with a quick drum roll, let's see what our overall population looks like now that everything is filled in. 27,000. 27,000 in this one tile. But remember, this tile is really a half tile. And truthfully, I think it looks pretty good. We haven't totally maxed out the density. We've got a couple of spots where right here, for instance, we've got the wall-to-wall buildings. So we're stepping down as we get towards the beach, but still have a pretty significant population, a lot of demand. And in general, I think things are looking pretty good. Let's look at our traffic flow, 75%. So we didn't get there. That is my one regret. That said, I released a video about 2 months ago where I said to stop focusing on the traffic flow and start focusing on the actual flow of traffic in your city. And what you'll notice is that things are flowing very efficiently. The thing is, now we're up to 79%. This is not a very big transportation network, and as a result, small tweaks around the edges will have massive consequences. So I'm not overly concerned. Things are flowing well through here. If we look at our transit network, got about 1,500 resident trips per week, 336 tourist trips per week. Things are honestly looking very well in this city. So I think we have just one more thing to do, take inventory of what we've done with a brief city tour. I have absolutely had a blast with this challenge. It was really fun making a city that is basically 100% high density, trying to pack as much in here as possible while still making it look nice and function well. And I really hope that you've enjoyed this. But more than that, I really hope that you see what you can do on this map as well. And if you do, please drop your population and your traffic percentage down in the comments. And if you record it as a video, let me know and I will pin it in the pinned description of this video. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit of a change of pace, but it was a lot of fun. If you did, please hit the like button. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. And I really can't wait to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye.